Hi, this is Mark Graban from KaiNexus, and we're doing a new little mini-series within the podcast where we're going to talk to people from the KaiNexus team about why they joined the company. We've done some previous podcasts about what people do here, and joining us today is somebody who participated in one of those podcasts, Matt Banna. How are you?
I am doing excellent. Thanks for having me, Mark.
So just to recap, if people didn't hear the What Do You Do Here Anyway podcast, if you give a quick recap, what's your job title, what do you do, and then we'll talk about why you joined.
Yeah, what do I do here anyways? My title is account executive slash solutions engineer. So that means that I help on the sales side with building demos and maintaining our demo environment, helping with security questionnaires, and at the same time with our renewals, working with existing customers about adding new users or new features, or when their contract comes up again, helping them get that finalized.
And so you're a slash like Cordell Stewart, if people remember.
Yes,
you.
multi-role utility infielder.
Yeah. So why did you join the company? And maybe you can talk a little bit about when that was. It's been a couple of years, and you're the first one answering this question, so it's your story. Go ahead.
Well, I've been at KaiNexus for over 3 years now, and I moved to Austin a couple months before I joined KaiNexus. So at the bottom line, I needed a job. That's the funny thing.
Fair enough.
So I think for me, at least, the question stops being why did I join, and it's more why did I stay? Because I've been here a while now. And really, when I look around the room, that's the biggest reason. I work with a great group of people. I work for a company with an awesome mission. I mean, coming from the sports world originally, getting a little bit better every day, the basis of continuous improvement made a ton of sense. And it was something that I was already practicing in my daily life. I just didn't know that was a thing that people did in a corporate world.
Yeah.
We have great leaders of the organization that help push me to do more and get better. And I think that's what people want when they go to work. That's what they ask for.
So when you were first interviewing, like I said, you're looking for a job. It's funny, I moved to Austin 20 years ago in June, but I had the job lined up when I moved to town. So you took this leap. Let me ask first, why Austin? And then we'll talk a little bit more about what attracted you to KaiNexus, though.
I had a friend from college that lived up in one of the suburbs, and she needed a roommate. So she said she was moving to Austin, and when I was up in Chicago, I was looking for a job up there, and I figured, why not go somewhere new? So it wasn't even Austin in particular; it was just trying something different.
Yeah, and so then when you're looking for jobs, was that our mission at KaiNexus, was that something that resonated with you? Like you said, continuous improvement being something that was already a practice of yours.
I really didn't even know what continuous improvement was until I started talking to Greg and Jeff and Ryan Confer. And when I, found out what continuous improvement was, like I said, coming from sports, that's the whole goal, is getting better every day. Because if you're not getting better, then somebody else is.
Yeah. And that's what as you talk to our customers or people who are prospective customers, I mean, that's the common thread. I'm sure your belief and practice of that resonates when you're talking to them and vice versa, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And when you mentioned sports, we before we started recording, we were talking about baseball. And I don't know if you saw, this is getting off topic, but it's on the topic of Kaizen and continuous improvement. Earlier this year, I blogged about the Seattle Mariners, and their manager said their slogan for the year was Kaizen, and talking about continuous improvement. And it's funny, when I blogged about them, they started the season something like 13-6.
They were really good.
They started the season great, and they're actually down in the basement. Like they've got they've ended up, the season's not over, but near the worst record in the American League. But it's I'm curious your thoughts. I mean, they have this goal of Kaizen. The results are getting worse. Does that happen sometimes? And I'm curious your thoughts from your days playing baseball.
It definitely can. I mean, with baseball, you can do everything right and still get an out. I think that's a little different than when you practice continuous improvement, and maybe it's not. You can do all of the steps of your PDCA cycle, your DMAIC, and you still may not get the result that you were hoping for, the result you wanted, even though you followed all the steps properly. So it's really just, as we say at KaiNexus here, keep pounding the rock, because eventually those hits are going to fall through. Those fly balls are going to go over the fence, as long as you keep practicing the steps that got you where there to begin with.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, because I think one of the challenges in evaluating improvement efforts is when the results lag the process improvement. We use this phrase, pounding the rock within KaiNexus. And again, I'm going to bring it back to sports. Northwestern's basketball team, I went to Northwestern, and so I follow them very closely. They talked about that notion of they talk about pounding the rock when they were trying to reach their first ever NCAA basketball tournament. And they had continuous improvement in a way, continuous improvement in results. Then they had a big leap and they made the tournament, and then they've been terrible again for a couple of years. So I guess that just happens sometimes. You've got to keep the faith that we're improving the process and the results are lagging. And sometimes there's a setback. And I guess that continuous improvement mindset means we don't give up. We keep working at it, right?
Yep. I mean, you could, back to baseball, I mean, you could pick your pitch and you can have a great swing and you can hit the ball 100 miles an hour and you can hit it right at somebody. That's an example of following your process and doing everything right and still not getting the exact result that you wanted.
Yeah. And, unlike sports and baseball, failing 7 times out of 10, you could still go to the Hall of Fame. With continuous improvement, like, this data that our CEO, Greg Jacobson, sends out, our customers are succeeding. This is always subjective, but they're implementing about 76% of their employee ideas. So we could call that a 76% rate of success. That's pretty legendary, I think.
Definitely.
Settings. So, any other thoughts as we're wrapping up here? Thanks for joining our sports podcast. No, we were here to talk about joining, and as you steered it, staying with KaiNexus. Any other thoughts you want to share on that to wrap up, Matt?
No, I mean, KaiNexus is a great team. So if anybody listening has the opportunity, wants to join, we definitely welcome you here. Yeah.
All right. Well, we've been joined today, Matt Banna. We're going to do more of these chats about why people join KaiNexus, and maybe we'll veer off a little bit and talk about things that are of interest. But we try to have fun within the KaiNexus team. I'm not there in the office every day, the Austin office, like Matt is. We can have fun and do a good job at the same time, right? So thanks for listening, Matt. Thanks for joining us and going first in this new series.